Shit like this pisses me off. Keep in mind, I'm not addressing every last bit. Where is it at? Here.
Water, you know. If you're not taking any medication or anything, if you're drinking enough water, your urination will look like water, no other coloring. If it is not coming like that, that means you're not drinking enough water. You drink more water than what you need for your thirst, little more, maybe 20–25% more water. This is very important that the fluids in the body are well managed, because these fluids need to be circulating in the body and clearing up all the mess that is happening. Just day-to-day working of the body creates so much debris, so much impurity that it needs to be taken away efficiently.
That guy's a piece of shit, by the way. I don't know enough about him to know if he is controlled opposition. Somebody in here did make sense, though. Right here. Even though they're using a fucking social engineering sticker, which means they don't know what they're fucking talking about. What do you mean? Somebody's fucking stupid, apparently. You know what they mean. These kids aren't very bright, which is why they're on this feed to begin with. I said nothing but the bottom of the barrel from Vegan Alkaline Nonsense. The handle for this account is technically Alkaline Vegan News, in case you were wondering. So this is what I meant by there's a lot more to this, and you and I should be raised with this shit, but people aren't. They aren't. And feel free to tune out some of it I've said before, and this is still just my superficial version of what the fuck is wrong with people. Why are they circulating this garbage on the fucking internet? What you just heard in terms of your piss needs to be kind of clear, it's a superficial Google search away. It's Wikipedia. It's not enlightening. And it needs to be paired with how your fucking body works. Because if you're worried about shit like that, that means that your body's probably not working, optimally. It's not working at its finest, which means there's probably something wrong. That's the reason why you would be concerned with something like that. And or you're not in your teens or your 20s, you're aging, which means you're going to be looking for things, and things are going to go a little haywire because our bodies are subjected to what? Chemicals in the air, the food, the water, our environment, for fuck's sake. Just look at all the chemicals put on clothes that people buy. That's fucked up. And there's no reason to do that. But that's the society we live in, because people aren't doing the right thing. So I said half-assed advice. If you're not balancing your salts, which is to say complementing them with enough potassium and magnesium, the fluids aren't going to run properly. Technically, you can run the risk of hypernatremia or hyponatremia. One's where you get too much water, one's where you don't get enough water. Both of them will jar your system. And if you're not balancing those salts, let's say you get too much salt and not enough magnesium and potassium. So in other words, you're overloading your body with salt, right? Where am I at? That's going to elevate your blood pressure. Now, salt's a weird one. It's kind of like cayenne pepper. It kind of walks the middle ground based on what you're doing. So if you're doing one thing too much, it will complement that, but it will also aid that process. And the same goes for the flip side. It's very strange. You might have heard Barbara O'Neill, who I don't know if I trust her anymore, but then again, any personality online, you got to take it with many pinches of salt. But cayenne pepper, it will help your bloodstream. It will also speed some of this up, mind you. If you have high blood pressure, that cayenne pepper is going to heat your body up, which means it's going to facilitate the high blood pressure. So tread with caution on that note too. And that's something that isn't mentioned in the Barbara fucking O'Neill shit. It's important. But what I was saying about cayenne pepper is it will help restrict your veins to a degree, and it will also help, open them up. And this is what I mean. It's going to complement things much in the same way that salt does. Different processes, but a very similar interaction with which side of the scales you're on, if you're pushing your body one way or the other. Very similar to what I was saying about if you get not enough water or you get too much water with the hypernatremia or the hyponatremia. Where was I at? I said it's going to elevate your blood pressure. If you're not eating enough vitamin K, this is green foods, lentils, meats, dairy, things like that. In addition to this, your body's going to be, or it should say your blood. Wait, did it say that? Your blood's going to be, yeah, it did, good. It's going to be thin is how I think of it, and runny, and build up in your veins, because recently I had to deal with this. I thought it was thick. I thought it was more towards a blood clot, but it was running so fast, it was building up and hurting like a motherfucker. You got to watch out for this shit. And I thought I was getting enough vitamin K, but apparently I wasn't. And that's because I've cut out, this is because I've been eating a very vegan diet, mind you. Not getting enough protein because I'm not eating the meats. And I'm not getting enough vitamin K because I'm not eating the meats or the dairy. And this is all because, and I didn't mention it in here, it's because my cholesterol's been high by today's standards. It's been over 200, just so you guys know. The bar for Western medicine is 200. Allegedly, and this is also some Barbara O'Neill information, mind you, she'll claim that cholesterol levels used to be okay if they were up to about 300. That's well over the bar for what Western medicine has deemed acceptable today. And I really want you to take that with a lot of pinches of salt again. Because if you got, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Your brain functions on cholesterol, for one. Understand that. Another one, if you eat a bunch of fucking sugar, cholesterol is what comes along and tries to clean that up, because sugar is like, I'm thinking of skateboarding right now. If I fell off the fucking skateboard and I got some road rash with a bunch of little gravel, that's what sugar does to the inside of our body. And so what cholesterol is it's where the road crew comes along and tries to patch up the road, but I guess in this case, your skin, which is a shitty analogy. And that's why people who die of, cardiac arrest and all that other shit, people who have heart attacks, that's why you have high or elevated levels of cholesterol, typically speaking, because the more sugar you eat, the more cholesterol is going to be generated. If you got a high stress job, say you're working Wall Street or, some of that dumb shit, you're trading stocks and stupid fucking shit, you're probably going to have a high cholesterol based on stress. My cholesterol is also high because I've been barking at the internet. That's another contributing factor, not just diet, mind you. Living in that intense state, because I'm also a Pisces, will elevate your cholesterol levels. Not sleeping enough will elevate your fucking cholesterol levels. These are all things that need to be thought of. And I forgot where I was at with some of this a moment ago, so I apologize. So I'll just try to jump back on track, and hopefully that'll help some of you if you've never heard about any of that. And if you've never thought about any of that, let me think. I swear there's more to the cholesterol bit. Oh, so this is what the Western medicine wants to do all the fucking time, because this is what they were trained. My doctor in particular, she's like, oh, okay. So I lowered my cholesterol considerably, mind you. I almost got it down to the 200 thing again. But then I was like, I need fucking protein. So I ate meats. I ate some meats again. And some of this I did the day before I went in to see if they would test me again for it. They weren't quite sure if they could do it for the insurance, but we justified it. And then she was like, motherfucker, your fucking cholesterol just spiked. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you that I just ate a whole bunch of meat. But I felt better after I did it. Listen to your body is my point. I mean, I'm still young enough, so hopefully none of this gets gummed up, in terms of the arteries. But some of it is definitely doing that too, with the plaque buildup, so to speak, having to do with cholesterol. The other flip side to this is right away, the Western doctors, they want to put you on medication to lower your cholesterol. Now, anybody you've ever heard of having memory issues, that's due to the fact that they have low levels of cholesterol, mind you, typically speaking, and or their gut is gummed up with a bunch of garbage, and that's also contributing to this. So this is why you see a correlation between memory issues and people who are on cholesterol lowering medications, and it's important to understand that. And most people aren't going to tell you that in terms of the people that you go to for fucking help. So where was I at? Said if you're getting too much vitamin K, this is when you lean towards blood clots, just so you know. So if you overdo that, obviously, too much meats, too much dairy, even too many greens. Kale is one of the go-tos, and it's easy to remember because it begins with K. I've been eating some butterleaf. Butterleaf's not too bad. Broccoli is a good option. I've been doing a lot of that, and avocados, in case you guys are curious, just in case. Appreciate that. How fast advice? I don't think this came out the way I wanted it to. online is just as good as talking to. Yeah, that didn't work out. Oh, it should say half-assed. So this half-assed advice that you see online, in particular, the guy rattling off, superficial Google searches, it's just as good as going to one of the specialists, the Western medicine specialists, that talks about heart rate, but they won't discuss diet and how that contributes to your heart rate being elevated. They won't do that. And that's fucking asinine. There's a disconnect, in other words. The word is compartmentalized. I never say it right. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But this is how Western medicine is structured. They also don't know a fucking thing, typically speaking, but they don't know what one hand is doing. So they don't understand how the body works, which means they don't have any advice. They don't actually have answers to help you. And that's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. That's my take on it. So formulate your own opinions. At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. But it's pretty fucking backwards. It's totally backwards. And these days now it's all digital. So half the time, so I went to a cardiologist and he didn't have any notes from my doctor. So he tried to spend almost a half an hour. I don't know why he tried to talk to me that long, but he was telling me about fucking analogies about tigers and shit. If a tiger walked into the room right now, would that elevate your blood pressure? I'm like, my blood pressure's already elevated. Why are you telling me stupid fucking flowery shit that doesn't have any bearing on what's going on with me? You're a doctor. Just a fucking muppet. It was a waste of my time. Yeah. It said, discuss diet contributes to why your heart rate. Other factors that are important to think of have to do with your adrenals, which control your kidneys. They sit right on top of your kidneys. Remember, you got 2 kidneys, typically speaking. My birth mother only has 1. And if your kidneys aren't working, that means that your liver is going to be stressed out as well. It's the only thing that grows back, allegedly. Yeah, and I think it's within a 90-day period. I could be wrong. Approximately when it starts to renew if you put it in the proper state to do so. Each of those are going to affect how much water you need to ingest. If you have weak kidneys, you can overload them by drinking what you used to know as the average amount of water. It's important to think about that. As you start doing that, you're going to run the risk of getting, if I'm not mistaken, urinary tract infections, and the list fucking goes on. Your kidneys will have more trouble processing the water because they're already having trouble processing all the waste. This also means this is going to back up your lymphatic system, which is where all your snot, mucus, that shit, typically speaking, associated with inflammation is driven, it's governed. You got the lymphatic system and you got, how should I put it? Well, maybe I won't go into all that. Even more. Honestly, I want to wrap this up. When all right, damn it, I forgot. I was trying to hit this 13-minute mark because now I don't know how long videos can be for sure on fucking Instagram. I just found out that they'll let me post at least 13 minutes. That's what I was shooting for a minute. And sorry, I just got tripped up. What was I thinking? I was thinking lymphatic system, something else. Back to point 1 second. Said, also like what somebody said in here, oh, that's about the guy just being a piece of shit, but people are very slow. They are, unfortunately, and that's why things are garbage, just like what's being circulated. So in some ways, maybe I did almost hit the 13-minute mark. I'll see if this gets posted or not. Remember, or appreciate rather, right now people are claiming that you have a lymphatic system and you don't have an immune system. All of those contributing factors that I rattled off, because it's a symbiotic system, are part of your fucking immune system, including, but not limited to, your lymphatic system, which are all these channels, so to speak. You got the veins in your body, you got your veins that bring the blood to your heart. You got the arteries, which take the blood away from your heart, which factors into the cholesterol that I was talking about. You got your lungs, which are oscillating. They're promoting movement and repose, in and out, inhaling, exhaling. That's the pump, as people like to refer to it online. And your heart's the valve, essentially. And that's what's facilitating the blood through your veins and how that all flows, quite literally. Then you got the flip side to that, which your lymphatic system. It's going to carry all of the fucking waste. And that's why that's intimately connected with your kidneys, which are the filter, one of the filters, and your liver, which is the other one, crudely speaking. That's kind of what I wanted to rattle off, and I knew I couldn't fucking stop until I did. If you hung out, thanks for hanging out. And remember, what the fuck do I know? I'm not a doctor, but I am censored on the internet.